Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of the Sixth League podcast. With me is Umar Amin, and I am truly Abdul Rehman Habib.
Truly.
Truly.
If there were any doubts, those have been cleared right here.
Should I get my ID? What's it called? Okay.
If there's any scammers watching this, please.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's like, when you befriend someone and they're like, what was your first pet's name?
Uh.
What's your mother's maiden name?
Uh.
What was your first grade class teacher?
What street did you grow up in?
Yeah, where were you born? What city? Okay. Do I know all of those about you? No.
I don't think so. No. You wouldn't know my first grade teacher, right?
Mrs. Callahan? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there because she was like everyone's first grade teacher.
Not mine, unfortunately.
Okay. Who was your first grade teacher?
Miss Creed.
Now I know. Guys, we can hack Umar's password now.
Truly.
Okay. Mine was Mrs. Callahan.
Okay. I think we got that before.
And no, actually, mine was Mrs. Nolan.
Mrs. Nolan, okay.
You know who Mrs. Nolan was?
I remember the name, but I don't remember the face right now.
She was Mr. Nolan's wife. Yeah.
Breaking news.
Mr. Nolan used to play cricket with us.
Mr. Nolan.
Well, if Mr. and Mrs. Nolan, you're watching this,
shout out.
Yeah. Hope you're well. Yeah.
Hope everything's turned out well in life and you guys are happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Toodles. Anyways.
Toodles. All right.
So Umar, a lot of our listeners are confused.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, Umar Amin, why is it called the Sixth League Podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Can you please explain to them why our channel is called the Sixth League Podcast?
So we were talking earlier before, and Abdul Rehman actually raised a really good point. Most of these YouTube channels or whatever, they make a video.
Yeah.
When they rebrand or whatever, why are we this?
Not even when they rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like on the YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
They ask you, introduce your channel.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we've rebranded. Yeah. Might not be the last time either, but still.
I like the Sixth League, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna
but
take.
you like it because you know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about time you explain to the viewers why the Sixth League is called the Sixth League.
So basically, whenever there's any conversation about football, let's say you want to talk about who's got the most goals or who's got the most passes, generally the comparison is in the top 5 leagues. So most passes within the top 5 leagues, most goals in the top 5 leagues, most tackles in the top 5 leagues. And that's really how you compare the best players in the world. The top 5 leagues obviously being the Premier League in England, this La Liga in Spain, Serie A in Italy, Uber Eats League in France, and that's not even me having a go, by the way. That's literally what it's called.
Yeah.
And the Bundesliga of Germany. So, the conversation's always about top 5 leagues, and we just thought, well, there's a top 5 leagues. Why not be the Sixth League?
So we're the Sixth League.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense to you guys,
yeah.
Let us know down in the comments. So yeah. Well, also, since we're on that note,
yeah.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
All right. Umar Amin. Follow me on Twitter. UMARR Amin. AMIN. You'll see my bio, which is what I'm just gonna say again right now. Part-time accountant, full-time podcaster.
Wow, that is actually impressive.
Right. Thank you very much.
I don't even know what my bio says.
I literally changed it yesterday or the day before, but when I thought about it,
thinking ahead that I'll be able to plug this into the next podcast.
Beautiful. See, this is the curve, right? And I'm like all the way here, just ahead of it. That's what I was.
It didn't look like you were ahead of the curve. It just looked like you were above the curve.
Isn't that ahead, above? Okay, here's the curve. I'm over there.
Okay, well there you go. That's nice. And I myself, Abdul Rehman
Habib.
Abdul Rehman Habib. I will not be telling you what my first pet's name was.
But we already know the first grade teacher was Miss Nolan.
Mrs. Nolan.
Mrs. Nolan.
I have Like, do you remember Star of the Week?
Yeah.
So like in our school, we used to get, we went to the same school. So in our school we used to get a Star of the Week award, and I have all of mine.
I have all of mine.
Well, maybe one day we can just go through them, but I have mine from reception. From year one. I don't think we had them in reception.
I can't remember right now, to be honest.
Anyway, so every week there would be like a star in the class, and this trend continued throughout primary school, from reception, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and year 6, and that's where it stopped. I have all of my Star of the Weeks right there in the folder, and the reason how I even remember Mrs. Nolan's name is she once gave me a Star of the Week for sensible cycling.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't even.
She saw me outside school cycling sensibly with a helmet on and everything, and she was like,
"Did you have one of those elbow guards
just the helmet?"
Okay.
And she gave me a
Star of the Week.
Star of the Week for it.
See, good behavior is not only rewarded within the classroom, but outside of it as well.
Technically, it was rewarded inside the classroom.
But the behavior itself was outside the classroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, Abdul Rehman gets a star.
Either way, I have a Star of the Week.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for the other 20 kids who were probably also cycling with helmets that week, but weren't spotted by Mrs. Nolan.
Were they cycling sensibly though?
That's true.
Cycling. It wasn't just
with a helmet.
It was on the right side of the pavement. Being careful.
Beautiful. Stopping before you cross the road or whatever.
Twice,
yeah.
Not on the pavement or the footpath, not on the road, on the side of the road.
Beautiful. That was incredibly sensible of Abdul Rehman.
Yeah,
he's always been a star in the making.
And I have a certificate to prove that.
Multiple certificates to prove that. Good times, honestly. Do they still have them now?
Yeah, I think so. I would imagine so. Like, why wouldn't they?
I mean, I don't know. School's changed a lot since we were there. It was really small, and so now it's just
got rid of Star of the Week.
I mean, maybe.
What's next? No food, anarchy. You're not allowed to eat lunch, drink water. Star of the Week is like a right for every child growing up.
But remember, for a while they started middle school, which was year 5, 6, 7, and 8. Do you think they gave Star of the Week for year 5 and 6 then as well, because they were technically middle school?
I would still, because they still had key stages.
That's true.
They still had key stages. Okay. Well, fun times though, right? You know what? One day we'll go through
Star of the Week
podcast.
All right.
Where we will just read out every single Star of the Week.
Do you want to show that check that you got for the cricket tournament where it says 1 million
cheers and wishes?
Have you cashed those in yet, or are those still?
I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm out of it, but then boom,
right out of nowhere.
Like another one.
Beautiful. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, for sure. Have you ever gotten a medal?
I have. Wait, from school or like
anything?
Yeah, like for competing in like tournaments, like basketball rounders,
competition medals.
Yeah, those ones.
Wow. Well, you know where else you get medals?
Where?
At the Olympic Games. But not for participation though, so Umar, don't try. Yeah. So
one guy, sorry, just to cut you off. One guy who will not be getting a participation medal is that Ugandan athlete who ran away from his camp.
What?
Did you not know? Like last week,
I did not know.
A week before, today I guess, the opening ceremony, a Ugandan athlete ran away from his camp into Tokyo, saying that after the Olympics, he was expected to go back, and he's like, I don't want to go back. I want to live and work in Japan. So he just disappeared from his camp, and now the authorities are on the search for him.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Are they in search for him through in means of illegal immigration, or in terms of like, get back, you need to perform?
No, I think illegal immigration. Yeah.
That would make a lot more sense.
Once the police find him, they'll hand him back to the Ugandan authorities. I don't know what you call.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, did you catch the opening ceremony, which was today?
I caught the last part of it. I was sleeping through the first half, but yeah, I I think I watched it when halfway through the parade. So yeah, did you?
I watched all of it, and
Okay.
funnily enough, I'll tell you how I watched all of it.
Alright.
My grandfather called me.
Okay.
He's like, "What time is the Olympic ceremony?"
Mhm.
I was like, "In 15 minutes."
Oh, okay.
I thought it was tomorrow. I
Mhm.
thought it was on Saturday, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was just my grandfather. He's like very much into athletics,
Mhm.
in and out. He's an athlete himself.
Mhm.
Like he's participated until like the national level, so he's really into these kind of things, and it's something that he watches very passionately, just like how we would watch football.
Mhm.
So him at his age still very
Mm.
much into
Still going strong, mashallah.
yeah, so he's really into it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he called me. He's like, "What time is the opening ceremony?" I was like, "You know what? Let me look it up."
Yeah.
And then I was like, 2 o'clock. Oh, it's 1:45 right now.
Yeah.
In 15 minutes. He was like, "Where can I watch it?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Probably just put on
PTV.
good old PTV Sports."
It did show. It did.
And it
Yeah.
showed on PTV Sports,
And it showed
and that's how I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched. It was a very long ceremony.
Mhm.
I did not expect it to be 3 hour, 2.5, so like whatever hours long.
Mhm.
So yeah,
It was longer than 3 hours.
I
I
think
remember
it was-
waking up at 4:30 and I still caught like
yeah,
a good
it
part of
started
it.
too. So
Yeah.
it was a pretty like long ceremony, but it was nice.
It was-
Something interesting.
Mhm.
Do you know how the countries come out?
No, I do not.
Well,
That's a lie because I do know because we recorded this 15 minutes ago, but then there were issues, so we deleted the recording.
but the content must be delivered. Well,
Of course. But do enlighten the viewers.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll enlighten the viewers.
Mhm.
The countries come out in alphabetical order,
Mhm.
but Iceland was the first country to come out.
But Abdul Rehman, Iceland begins with an I, not an A.
Yes, Umar. That's because that is because
Mhm.
the alphabetical order
Yeah.
is of the country's origin.
Yeah.
So, however, they would pronounce it in Icelandic.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, they would say it. So,
Mhm.
probably some kind of a convergent chart going on. Like
Yeah.
something
Iceland.
they're like, oh,
You can type
That
on Google
alphabet equals-
Iceland to English translation and then just write the word Iceland on the Icelandic version and whatever you get for England, right? You just put it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Qatar and
Mhm.
then was followed by Canada.
Q followed by a C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Q in Qatar it's still in Arabic.
Mhm.
So that's
I guess when they converted it to English, it was a C, which is also a point of debate. You know, it could easily be a K, right?
I feel like
I feel like Qatar is a K, not a C.
I feel like Qatar is a Q. I feel like Qatar is a Q, but more importantly, I just think they might just have asked the country,
Mhm.
like, hey,
You
do
translate
you
it
want
for
to
us.
be in? Yeah, like, do you think you are more of a C? Do you think
Mhm.
you are more of a K?
Mm-hmm.
Like Q, man, people get tired by the time Q comes around.
Yeah.
It's like, you still have R, C, U, W, X, Y, Z left.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, maybe C,
Yeah.
early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why Yemen was like top 20. Yeah.
Wait, how are Yemen top 20?
Yemen were top 20.
Yemen's with a Y. What?
Good question.
Mm,
What's Yemen in Arabic?
I don't know.
Maybe they know. Maybe and they'll tell us.
Wait, do you know?
No? I don't know.
Wait, let
You
me
know what?
search this
yeah,
up.
let's just see. You
All right,
know,
all right. You search it up.
What is Yemen in Arabic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Al Yemen.
Al with an A.
Al Yemen.
Mm.
So that makes more sense. Yeah.
That makes
Al
sense.
Yemen.
I guess Germany would have been pretty early too. Almania, right?
Don't they just call it Germany?
Oh yeah.
Albania
Oh no,
is
they'll call themselves Dutch. I don't know.
Yeah, they would be D.
Yeah,
They
with
would
the
be
D, yeah.
Deutschland.
Yeah. Okay.
They would be D. So yeah, they wouldn't be in the G category.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's pretty cool. Who was the last country based on this?
Oh, so the last country was
Mhm.
Japan.
Okay.
Not alphabetically.
Yeah.
Because it was more so because they're the host nation. So since either since the last Olympics or since this Olympics,
Okay.
the last country
Mhm.
is now the host nation. So it's kind of like a
Mhm.
grand finale.
Mhm.
You know, it just because usually the host country gets the biggest reception.
Yeah. I mean, who's giving the reception?
Yeah,
That's-
exactly. The hosts fans, right? So,
Yeah.
that's the big deal with it.
Mhm.
You know who the first or second country was?
Who? Iceland.
No.
Were the first country.
Not Iceland. It was I forgot what it was called. It was the refugees.
Mm.
The refugee team.
What's the refugee team?
Well,
I do.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
No, but
what
we-
do you think with
But we've never had a refugee team before, so what does that even
technically
mean?
we did. This
Who-
is the second time. They
Oh,
also
okay.
had it in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But the refugee team is basically a team underneath the Olympic banner, the Olympic flag.
Yeah, okay.
It's just the best Olympians
Mm-hmm.
who just happen to be refugees,
Mm-hmm.
which is great, I think, because these guys are probably
I think they'd be athletes, not Olympians, at this point before they've actually competed in the Olympics. I think
Yeah,
once you
okay.
compete in the Olympics, then you become.
isn't that given? Like they're there
So they're athletes. They're not Olympians,
to be Olympians.
especially if it's the first time or second time. Most
mean,
of those athletes would be coming the first time, right?
I mean, if it's the second time, then they would be Olympians.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, the fact that they're at the ceremony, Umar, I'm not gonna nitpick the fact that they even
Mhm.
made it there. You got a participation medal, okay?
Hey, no. I finished third place. That was not participation. We won the third place match. Take that. What was that school called? Something Park.
Park House.
Park House. Yes, that's the one.
Take that Park House. Okay, anyways,
Yeah.
getting back to actual, talented, madly skilled people
Yeah.
who are athletes and to be Olympians.
Yeah. To be Olympians.
Yeah,
That's a good.
okay.
That's a good phrase.
Anyways, so the great thing about them is they're probably deprived of the opportunity to compete because of situations that are way out of their hand.
Mm-hmm.
War or poverty or whatever has displaced them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably war, and they found a new place to stay, and they've probably not been able to avail the resources that the locals have of that country,
Mm-hmm.
and they're incredibly skilled.
Yeah.
So it's very nice to see that they still get to represent and showcase their talents on the biggest
Mm-hmm.
sports stage in the world.
And they're like obviously people coming from different backgrounds, like different
Yeah.
countries, different locations, but they all do share something in common, which is, I mean, it's sad, but the reality is that they've been deprived of certain privileges that other
Yeah.
obviously athletes or Olympians competing here would have had, resources, equipment, whatever it is. So, and the fact that they're still made it here, after
It's incredible.
exactly
It's
it
really
is.
incredible.
So it's really great to see this.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's really nice, and I'm rooting for them, and I hope every single member
Mm-hmm.
of the refugee team gets
Mhm.
a gold medal.
Hopefully,
I think that would be the best, case sscenario.
That-
Maybe not realistic, but I just like it. It
Mhm.
just shows that there's
Mhm.
hope and in unity,
Mm.
even if it's out of the worst possible cause.
Hope and unity. I think we have our episode title right there.
So unity and faith, yeah, that could definitely be the title of this episode.
All right,
Unity, faith, and stars of the week.
and stars of the week.
Yeah. I feel like, FIFA
Mm-hmm.
and not only FIFA, but
Mhm.
all other sports could start adopting this, nationless aliens, basically, right? That is actually the proper term.
Really, aliens.
If you go to any immigration website for any country,
Mm-hmm.
they ask you
Are
what
you
a-
an alien?
No. Conspiracy theory buster right here. Aliens do exist. No, that's anyone who does not belong
Mm-hmm.
from like a country is called an alien technically,
Okay.
in terms of immigration,
Mm.
not in terms of
I just feel like they could have given them a different name. Alien is really
yeah.
alienating.
I think that is the whole point behind it.
Mm.
It's not like anything. I'm sure it's not supposed to be something mean.
Or like extraterrestrial or something, you know, just
yeah,
alien.
just that like
They've been alienated from their homes, I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah.
so,
Okay.
yeah, no, but I would really like to see this concept being
Used in like other sports, like
especially
football.
because it's such a global game and everyone plays
Like,
football.
okay, you look at the French national team.
Yeah,
I bet like
I mean
And
all
that's
of them
just
are immigrants.
yeah.
But still, like
Like,
I mean,
mhm.
they've had to leave their homes for like.
At one point, their parents were refugees.
yeah,
They're
so-
French, but their parents were
and
refugees.
you look at
know?
like whatever's happening around the world, right? It's not too
Mhm.
pretty. So
Exactly.
it's something that we just expect that more and more will happen.
Yeah. That honestly, I'm just thinking of a team with like, the French stars, but then also you've got the likes of, Modric and it. Just put Modric. Yeah.
I mean, like you got Modric, you got the likes of Shaqiri, Xhaka.
Yeah.
They both played for Switzerland,
and they
but
both play amazing for Switzerland.
they're like
regardless of club
completely
form, yeah.
different like players when they play for
Mm.
Switzerland. So
There's a few Ukrainian players who are always unreal for their country, Russian players as well.
Yeah,
So
it's well the Russian. well,
that's a separate episode, I believe.
We're not injecting anything today.
mm.
Yeah.
So back to the Olympics.
Yeah. Back to the Olympics.
What games are you looking most forward to?
Okay, listen. Everyone's looking forward to the sprints.
Obviously. Okay, that's
I'm
like
not
I
even
think the
kidding.
most watched.
I think the 100 meter,
Mm-hmm.
the 200 meters, the 400 meter, which is one lap,
Mm.
and
The
the
400 meter relay.
the 400 meter
Yeah.
relay. I think these are the
most anticipated
yeah,
events
especially
always.
the 100 meter sprint.
You
Like-
stay awake all night to watch it, and
10
Usain
seconds.
Bolt takes it away.
10, 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Sometimes 9.58.
9.56 or something. Whatever. Yeah, but it's like awfully quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think apart from those, I've always been a fan of the jumps,
Yeah.
especially the triple jump and the high jump and the
Mm.
long jump. The
I love the pole vault.
pole vault.
I
is
love that.
Scary, man.
It's scary, but it's so nice to watch. It can easily go wrong. I get that idea.
No, I get it, but like I'm not gonna lie, I do like watching it.
Mhm.
Like it's something insane. I still don't understand the whole physics behind it. Like
How does
the
one
w- yeah,
pole,
one
which is
bendy,
like
bendy
this, then like go all the way
Yeah,
up there, and
it's actually pretty impressive.
Mm.
But
I think it's a lot like down to technique as well. One little mishap where
Oh,
you
yeah.
place the pole, and all of a sudden you're
and I mean just the fact that you're falling from like
Like
a significant height,
height, yeah.
10, 15 meters is
15
like
meters. Yeah.
it's kind of scary.
Hmm.
Falling unassisted, and these guys are celebrating midair.
And imagine like all the hard work that's gone into it, which we don't see. All the falls, all the
Yeah.
tumbles that they've taken. It's ridiculous.
Is like out of it's probably the sport, probably the event
Mm-hmm.
that things can go
For sure.
wrong.
For sure.
Mostly, right?
So it just started. The Olympics have just started, and in the early days, most of the competitions are water-based. Swimming is probably one of the biggest feature in the first week and a half. So, do you watch any of the water sports or?
I honestly speaking,
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
It may have something to do with the fact that I myself not the best swimmer.
Mm.
So, but it's just the thing. Like, I feel like you really have to be in swimming. You really have to be invested in like being able to swim or like it's very it's not that interesting to me.
Were you a shark or a dolphin in school?
I was a dolphin.
Uh-huh.
I got promoted to be a shark.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I was like the bottom tier in the shark.
Oh no, I was a shark and then I got demoted to a dolphin. So
No, I was a dolphin in the beginning because I was very scared,
Mm.
like of the water.
I was a dolphin, then I got promoted to a shark, and then I got demoted back to dolphin. And I was like, okay.
FYI for our
Mhm.
viewers,
Mm-hmm.
a shark and a dolphin were like two classifications in the swimming class that we used to have during our physical education time, and basically dolphins were the less
Less able.
less abled swimmers that just found more
Who
difficulty.
needed help?
Yeah.
Who needed more time in the shallow end, I suppose,
Yeah,
before they got
and,
moved to the deep end.
I think that was the major classification,
Yeah.
because as soon as you were fine with the
Deep
shallow end,
yeah.
like as soon as you could survive deep end, you were just thrown to be a shark.
Yeah.
Not thrown to the sharks. Technically
know-
to the sharks.
No. In Aloha Club, the swimming pool we used to go to,
Yeah.
when I was little, you remember that design in the middle, that big circle, black circle, in the Aloha clubs?
Yeah.
I used to be so scared of that, which is why I would always stick to the sides, either in the deep or shallow end.
I remember, like, once we were sharks and stuff, we
Mhm.
had to go dive and get stuff from there.
Yeah.
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 It's pretty cool. To be honest, I'm just talking about it. I've started missing swimming, probably because I haven't been able to. I haven't swam since. I don't remember.
School?
No, I think I went once.
Yeah,
afterwards.
I've been once or twice in uni, like
Yeah, just
not
once.
in uni here, but like
Here.
during uni times.
Yeah, and like, I mean, the
Yeah.
last 2 years has just been COVID. So
Yeah, exactly.
completely been missing out on that. But yeah, I guess. But some people take swimming as a very, like,
Competitive.
not only competitive, but as like an intense sport of
Mhm.
like exercise.
It is. It is.
Yeah, but we don't do that. We take a ball
Yeah.
and throw it around and jump around catching and, like, water polo. That's the kind of thing that we're into.
Mm.
We're not really into
The-
actual sport side of it.
But the thing about swimming is it does give us a lot of gems. I don't know if you saw the highlights of the Philippines team in the previous
I actually
Olympics.
saw the diving
Mhm.
team. Okay, so diving is actually pretty impressive.
Mm.
It reminds me of Mr. Bean every single
Ah.
time. I'm not even because that's probably the first time I ever saw diving.
I always felt like those kids were so rude. Like they just started stampeding on the poor guy.
For
Who's
sure,
so
for
scared
sure.
up there. Like I
Yeah.
felt bad for him watching.
Mr. Bean was probably a dolphin. Definitely
Definitely
a
a dolphin,
Definitely
yeah.
a dolphin. But yeah,
And probably with the noodle or something.
yeah, I definitely do miss swimming in
Mm.
that regard. But I don't think I'll tune into the events
Mm.
because, like, especially the first few,
Mm.
it's just the heat,
Yeah.
until maybe I'll tune into the finals. That's
Mhm.
more interesting. But these days you can just grab the clip of the final off YouTube and watch it then. And
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people are going to do.
The thing is, after for example, you're busy during the day or work and stuff. Personally, I don't really go in for a specific sport. What I do is just tune into whatever's on the screen. I'll just watch it,
Yeah.
in the Olympics, whatever. If it's swimming, so be it. If it's, pole vault, so be it. Obviously, there are some you like more than the others, but whatever's on,
Yeah, no,
No
I kind of
discrimination.
get the gist of what you're saying.
The thing is, this time they're in Tokyo, so it'll be during the day for most parts of the world.
Yeah.
And obviously during the day everybody's at work or whatever, doing busy, so
I believe I saw the schedule, and a lot of the events are 11 to 4. So that's literally prime time, in the middle of the heyday,
yeah
coming home and whatnot.
yeah
So I'll be interested to see how many people call in sick at the final day.
100 meter
The 100 meter
sprint.
Or probably just 100 meter. They'll probably just like gather around
Mm-hmm.
someone's iPhone
Mm-hmm.
in the office, and they're just probably like hovering over like, oh, who's winning? They're like, I have no idea who these athletes are, but wow, they're so fast.
They're so fast. Okay, the one thing I don't understand is how do some events start before the opening ceremony? Shouldn't
I think it's a scheduling thing
mm.
because you're talking about football.
yeah
Yeah. First of all, I have a whole thing about football in the Olympics.
mm-hmm.
First of all, why?
Yeah, it's true.
It's such a big sport.
Yeah,
Why? And second of all, it's under 23 for men's.
unless there's Dani Alves captaining the Brazil side at 38.
Yeah, but there's like a few
A
exceptions,
rule,
right? Like
three players.
Three players can
Yeah.
be above 23, and
But
then
there's no point of football in Olympics. Like, it's okay. So I think the general purpose of the Olympics could be obviously for these athletes, right, to come and compete, showcase their skills. And most of these athletes don't get enough competitions or enough of the coverage for these competitions. Football already has probably the most coverage out of
too
any
much,
game.
I would say.
Exactly.
Like, speaking about Pedri,
Yeah.
that guy played so much football for Barcelona.
Then
Alright.
went to the
Then he went to the Euros
Mhm.
and played so much football for Spain
Mhm.
at the Euros.
Now
He's at the Olympics. That I saw a picture of him, and he looked tired.
I remember Oscar had to do the same thing in 2013,
2013.
and he broke a record for most minutes played in a season by any football player.
He got so tired of playing football, he went to China.
He went to China, exactly.
So
So
it's like, at least I won't have to play football there.
60 million, man, I can't believe it. We ripped them off. I mean, technically they overpaid for every player that they bought.
Yeah,
Jackson Martinez for 50,
yeah, so.
but
Anyways, going back to football, there's something else. Why is the women's game a full-fledged team, but the men's is under 23?
Exactly.
I feel like that's like a bit of a disparity there.
To be honest, I understand it. I mean, just as we're talking about right now about coverage and whatnot, right?
Women's game that's
doesn't
a fair
get,
point.
Yeah.
The women's game does not get enough coverage.
And obviously in the Olympics, a lot of people are tuning into these. So
That's actually true.
yeah, so it gives them a. I mean, it's not equal, but it is, I guess, justice in a way.
I guess it makes sense. I completely understand the way, because like in terms of the coverage that they're getting and the impact that they may have on the general audience may increase more, and perhaps it can definitely help the women's game develop more to be not only a more watchable sport, but like a more competitive sport in a way. Because it'll start the cycle. Young girls at home,
we'll see
watching
their heroes.
These their country women performing at the highest level, getting gold medals. It inspires them, and then they go back to school, and then they want to participate, and so on and so forth. So it'd be good. As far as men's football, I feel like you have enough of that, right?
Enough of that. Yeah.
You have, the top 5 leagues.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but you have what's it called, Champions League midweek, Europa League. You even have Conference League. Then you got Euros.
Yeah.
So you get so
Confederations Cup.
Confederations
like
Cup.
Weird tournaments here. The thing about men's football, right? I mean, the only sort of argument you could make for it is that there are some nations who maybe aren't as great in normal tournaments like the World Cup or whatever. They don't compete, and then they actually do get an opportunity to compete at the Olympics.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Like,
I see that.
I think Honduras or Panama, I don't know, one of those countries. You wouldn't see them on like a normal FIFA World Cup or even like the domestic, continental cup, but you see them in the Olympics. So for people from those countries, it's great. But football in general, like for men, there's a lot of coverage, and it's really not necessary in the Olympics.
What else is like very interesting is basketball in the Olympics.
There is basketball. I can't even remember.
Oh yeah, there is.
Okay.
And it's actually a very big deal because
the NBA.
What's that one country do you think that plays basketball?
Who lost to Nigeria? I saw on Twitter recently.
Yeah, it's the US of A.
Yeah.
Right. So they're like kind of like always the clear favorites, and they've won the last 3 years or so.
Yeah.
But it just feels like this year, a lot of nations are much better. Not much better, but much more improved. Before it was like
the difference in quality has significantly reduced.
Before it was like boys versus men, right? And now it feels like it's much more of an even playing field, and it does come down to resources and whatnot. So I feel like basketball will be one of those events that people may. I've always watched basketball Olympics because that's the only time you get to see all these great names come together. Of different franchises. Yeah. So imagine
Messi and Ronaldo playing in the same team.
It's kind of like equivalent to that, because it's all the great names of one league coming together and play. So it's pretty.
The thing about that is obviously competition. You just talked about men versus boys. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to see them, but go up against, the next best thing or
Yeah,
whatever.
so if it's a bit like that now.
Yeah.
They've you feel like the others have improved much more.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like basketball will be something that I will definitely be tuning in,
Mm-hmm.
especially because to watch NBA
Mm-hmm.
in the part of the world that we are in the Middle East,
Yeah.
it's at 4 a.m. sometimes. Like
Mhm.
most of the good games are at 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, no one's watching that. Like whenever I watch it, I watch the highlights on YouTube, and it's not
Mhm.
the same thing, because when you're following a match, right? Whenever you're watching any sports
Mhm.
match, and you're following it, the adrenaline, the story that builds up
Yeah.
is quite. You feel
You're
like
in it.
you're part of it,
Yeah.
right? And then when it climaxes, when it comes to the end, you're like, boom!
Like
It's a journey.
I remember the summer of 2019 when the Wimbledon final happened
Yeah.
between Djokovic and Federer, and at the same time it was the England New Zealand cricket game. And I remember switching back and forth every 1 minute. Who's
Yeah.
gonna win, because that game was just going on, and then that game obviously went to the super over, whatever. So it was ridiculous, and yeah, if you obviously watch that on YouTube or something like the next day, and you weren't there, then you miss it.
Yeah.
Like you just don't get the same feeling.
What's your take on tennis at the Olympics? Do you think it deserves, there are enough Grand Slams, right?
Mhm.
So do you think it deserves to have its place in the Olympics?
I would say so, yes, because again, Grand Slams, you don't even need to tune in to know that Wimbledon, Federer is going to do amazing.
Yeah.
Roland Garros, Nadal's going to do it. US Open, you've got Djokovic who's going to dominate that.
Yeah.
So obviously it does give an opportunity to other athletes, but yeah, I mean, listen, whatever's coming on TV, I'll watch it. Like before we recorded this, I was at home and I was watching women's softball, and I don't think I've ever watched a women's softball game in my life before.
Have you ever watched a softball game in your life?
No. The game against Park House, maybe that we got the bronze medal for.
Oh my god.
So I think it was USA versus Canada, and man, USA were far superior to the Canadian women's team. But it's great. It's something new. It's something I haven't watched before, and I was excited
Listen,
to.
I love sport,
Yeah.
so I don't mind.
Exactly.
Mind it. Yeah, definitely. But not all sports are at the Olympics.
Mhm.
Cricket isn't at the Olympics,
Mhm.
even though they've tried very hard.
Okay.
They got Asian Games there,
Mhm.
but it still hasn't made it to the Olympics.
Mhm.
Now they're saying, maybe the new 100 format,
The 100 balls.
the 100 balls,
Yeah.
100 format. They're saying that might be a breakthrough. That may because it'll be like shorter time. You can complete the game in like under 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So that may be a more of an appealing and more entertaining way forward for the game.
The thing is, we've seen them try shorter formats before unsuccessfully.
T10.
T10 and then Super Sixes or something, the 6-over format.
the
What was it
6-over
called?
format,
yeah.
yeah.
And those were very unsuccessful, I think.
I
Not
mean,
a lot of
those
people
were
tuned in.
riddled with dubious bets and
Ye-
whatnot, and controversy. So I feel like that was
Okay,
also a thing.
honestly, I don't know about those, but
Yeah.
I mean, the pitch was smaller. There were less players, and it
There's
was
less,
just every ball was going for a 6. You were like, "What's happening here? That's not even fun at this point."
It became less tactical
Yeah.
and less of a
Tactically, good evening.
yeah, a lot less tactical and a lot less of a game that was.
Europa League winner, by the way. No disrespect.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
A lot less of a plan when you're playing a 50 over game.
Mhm.
You have certain fielders.
Exactly.
You got a whole game plan in mind. You
Mhm.
execute it with every different player coming.
And players have more time to showcase their ability. Batsmen,
yeah.
different various range of techniques that they can actually display. Whereas T20 is more about, as
Mhm.
you say in football, pace and power now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like in a 50 over game or so, you
Mhm.
can take your time. When a fast baller comes in,
Mhm.
that may not be your strength. You may be better against spinners. You stick around. You can play against them. You can build your innings.
Mhm.
In these Super Sixes or the 100 or T10, you just gotta swing because
Yeah.
there's literally just no time. So it's all right. Throw some to the fence. You get 20, 30, and that's great.
The thing is, people enjoy more.
I enjoy it is more entertaining.
Obviously, no, but obviously, as a fan of the game, you'd enjoy that more.
Yeah.
But if you're a neutral who's never watched it before, you want to see someone smash the ball rather than
Yeah.
go like 10 overs
That's
at like
true.
20 runs or something,
That's true.
So I mean, I get that, but I don't think the 100 ball format is going to be the way to go. Just keep it T20s. You know what? I think
T20s?
that's a decent format.
I mean, T20s is what it's the Asian games.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 120 balls.
They
I
had
mean,
it one Asian games. I don't know if they had it again.
okay. But the thing is, 120 balls. I mean, 100 ball, 120 balls. I mean, just 20 balls. Like, it's really
Yeah,
not that
three
much of a
overs.
difference.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, in the 100 is like an over is like 10 balls
10 balls? I thought it's 5 balls.
or 5 balls.
I
It's
don't.
one
I
of
don't know.
them.
I have
It's
no
one of
idea.
them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, 10 balls. That would be tiring for every bowler, especially fast bowlers. After you do.
Probably should look up the rules
Yeah.
again. Starting soon though.
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty.
The thing is, there's also obviously like a certain class of countries that dominate cricket.
Yeah.
And this year, for example, three new nations have been registered in the ICC category of countries or whatever. So I mean, I think maybe cricket could do something like, you know, as football has done, do for the big teams or something, the under 23s or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So it would make it more of a even
I mean, they already
playing
have
field.
an under 19 World Cup,
Mhm.
but then again, the under 19 World Cup is
Will be dominated by
the
those
same
countries,
teams
exactly.
because they've already like cricket is a game that needs developing over time. It's not like football.
Mhm.
Football, okay,
You get a ball.
you get a ball and 4 slippers and you're good to
Yeah.
go.
Cricket,
And
you need.
cricket is an expensive
Yeah.
sport. Actually, back in the day, in 1950s, like 1940s,
It was like a high class.
it was like it's called a game of gentlemen, not because the players that played were gentlemen, but
Mm.
like because they were of a certain class.
Mhm.
They had a certain wealth status, you know,
Mhm.
and to such extent,
Mhm.
the fact that in Test cricket that lunch
Mhm.
and tea exists.
Yeah.
It's because
Tea. I mean, what a fancy thing to have in a cricket match.
it's literally not because they needed replenishment. It's
Mm.
because it's their status. They
Yeah.
used to do it because they can
Yeah.
afford it. Imagine having a game and you gotta provide lunch, tea, and these days in the
Yeah.
day night dinner.
Imagine a football game where we think drinks break
Yeah,
is like a
it's
big deal.
excessive.
Imagine they had a brunch break or
Bro,
something.
imagine they had tea or like a coffee break. They're like,
Yeah.
halftime. Like,
And then Ronaldo gets like a cup of Lipton and just puts it away and puts water.
yeah,
Ronaldo
Healthy
Jr. is
life.
gonna drink this.
healthy life.
Um,
But yeah, and so much so that like certain those players, right?
Mhm.
They would dive
yeah.
and they would get mud on their clothes.
Mhm.
So in the next session, they would come out wearing new clothes.
Yeah.
So in a test match, they would.
There's 3 sessions basically.
There's 3 sessions in one day, and then
Mhm.
there's 5 days. So there's 15 sessions possibly.
Mhm.
So they would like end up wearing 15 to 20 different sets of clothes
Mhm.
just because they could afford it.
exactly.
And they wouldn't shine the ball like how
Mhm.
modern cricket. They wouldn't. They
Mhm.
just would play
Yeah.
without he shining
Mhm.
because they found that to be substandard
Okay.
to their lifestyle and the way they're like, we don't need to work for it. We
Uh-huh.
just got our skill and ability in
Yeah.
our own hands.
Mm. What else are you excited about?
Well,
Anything else we've missed?
to be honest, I think right now Olympics is probably like the biggest thing that's going on this summer. I've always liked the years that end in like the 4s, the same year
Yeah.
that Olympics and Euros happen. They've always been my
Tokyo 2020, it's called.
Tokyo 2020, but like I'm talking about when we had Euro 2012 and then we had Olympics 2012
Yeah.
and then 2016. So these years are always been my favorite,
Mhm.
and it's just sad that last year they got delayed.
Mhm.
So last year was kind of a bore fest,
Mhm.
but woohoo, they're here now, and we just had Euros, now we got Olympics. So hopefully they'll be equally or more successful.
And as soon as the Olympics are over, I think the football season begins. So
It definitely does. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. You
yeah,
don't have a boring summer. It's
the
just continuity.
2018s and the 2020s, like these two. So like every other year, basically.
Every other year, yeah.
The summer, it's
And
always
to think
intense.
about it, next year's the World Cup,
Mm.
but not in summer,
Yeah.
in winter.
In winter.
So let's see how
How that adjusts into the schedule.
let's see how the top 5 league adjusts
Mm.
and how the 6th league adjusts.
Sure, I'm sure we'll ease our way into the transition. Yeah.
You want to take it away, Omar?
thank you guys for tuning in to our what started off with talking about Star of the Week and ended at the Olympics. Well, that was the actual purpose of the whole podcast, the Olympics.
I
But
would say it was Olympics, Unity,
Mhm.
Faith, Olympics, and Stars of the Week.
yeah, thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment any thoughts you have if you want to share your opinions, And as we said earlier, you know what? If you guys have any interesting topic ideas that you actually want to get on here and talk about, then feel free, We're all open for suggestions. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye. Thank you.